Welcome to your Technology Questions Answered. I'm your host, Steve Smith, aka Z-Axis. We'll be looking at episode 23, Troubleshooting Issues with Your Wired Network. And we'll be doing this because of next week's topic. So today we'll be actually looking at an introduction to networking, what the RJ45 cable is, using the Linux terminal and or Windows command, aka DOS window, resetting a router, and suppressing a driver in Windows. So let's get to the video of the computer. So folks, welcome to my computer. Today we'll be working within a Windows XP environment. Yes, I know some of you prefer Vista or probably Windows 7, but it is exactly the same thing. So, starting with the most basic premise, we need to identify what the problems are. So the easiest is to use the DOS command prompt. So, hit the start button, hit the run button, hit the CMD inside open, hit enter, and it will load the DOS prompt screen. Hold on, I'll do some spring cleaning there. So folks, there are several ways of doing this, but the easiest way to figure out what your IP address to your gateway is using the ipconfig command within Windows. Our default gateway is 192.168.0.1. You can do this within Windows. Simply go Start, Control Panel, Network Connections, double-click your local area network connection. In my case, I have a firewall. As we see, we go under Support, Default, Gateway. Same address as you see here. So as you see, both of them are possible. Now, moving this for another cause. Whoops. There. Now, as you see, we have now confirmed what the default gateway address is. Now, how do we test the connection? Ping, PING space 192.168.0.1. In my case, it can be .1.1.1.100. anything. Basically, it is 4 numbers separated by 3 dots. That is the basic premises of the IP address. Just make sure it is the same as the default gateway. By the way, if loading either one of these commands shows you have no gateway, it's probably a sign that you're not connected to anything. You might want to check the cable, the router, or the connections on the cable. So we're going to ping the address. It's pretty fast, as we confirmed before. I have a 1 gigabit connection for my network. So we have now confirmed that it works. What does it look like when it doesn't work? So swapping one, intentionally making a wrong IP address. This is what it would look like if you weren't connected at all, or you had an actual problem with either the cable or the router. By the way, you can also have a problem with the actual Ethernet card. I'm about to show you how to deal with that one. There, 100% packet loss. Now, after confirming that it is not in fact your cable's connections, because if they're broken they might not work at all, making sure it's not the actual cable itself, making sure your router didn't just get unplugged or your modem unplugged from the wall, you never know, and after everything else is all lights on, let's say it is your computer's hardware. How do we figure out if we're actually in the right place? Well, folks, all you need to do is go back to the control panel. Go under System. You'll go under the Hardware Profile, Device Manager, and you will actually look up the network adapter. Obviously, in my case, Realtek PCIe GB E Family Controller. That is a gigabit Realtek network adapter. Mine's integrated. Right click it. You'll either be able to disable, uninstall, or update your driver. Now, if you're having an actual problem with the hardware and you want to confirm that it actually works, you would hit uninstall. But you can also hit scan hardware for changes or properties. Selecting properties will allow you to verify the device status. This device is working properly. But if it didn't, you'd hit the troubleshoot issue. You also have other indicators here, like the driver. You can roll back the driver, update the driver, verify driver details, and uninstall the driver, which is considered advanced, but honestly, it's not. If you recently updated the driver, you might want to roll back the driver just to verify. Now, after uninstalling it, you will have to restart the computer just to make sure that everything is gone. Then you simply need to reinstall the driver, which will occur at the beginning of the Windows process. So, all we need to do is get out of here. Now, after verifying it is not the drivers in question, not the cables, and supposedly not the router, because if the router does not power on even after being plugged in, and you verified the power is not dead in the plug, it is probably the connection between the computer, router, and the modem. How do you verify that? Well, the only real way to verify that the modem and the router are communicating to the outside world without logging into the router itself is to ping an outside address. You may ping any internet address you want. I will ping mine, zedaxis.net, so it's ping.zedaxis.net in my case. I'm able to ping to the outside world, but if the internet connection didn't work, it would say request timed out. All you need to do at this point is reset by simply depressing for less than 2 seconds the router and the modem, and this should reset the DHCP of both of them. If this does not work, you may want to call back your ISP to get your modem checked. They can do this remotely, but if they're unable to connect to it, like you are, they will just send you a technician with a new one. So let's exit out of here. So like I've previously indicated in several other episodes before, if you do have a hardware issue with your computer, in this case the Ethernet card, you will be forced to send back the motherboard or the Ethernet card itself back to the manufacturer. Please make sure that you call the technical support and that you request an RMA number and that you send it through the mail. As usual, this may take a few days to a few weeks, and you must send it insured. Also make sure that your RJ45 cables are securely connected to the wall. Do not pass anything through. Make sure the connections on these are not broken or smashed. If you want to put it through the wall, my suggestion is put a pencil on the end, tape it with some black vinyl tape, and send it through the wall protected. That way it doesn't break. You can press it down temporarily. It will come back up. Now, of course, everything I told you about the ping command does work in Linux. It does actually go on for an eternity, but like I stated, Command C to finish it off in Windows, so it will just stop. And Command Z in Linux. Now, next week we'll be talking about troubleshooting your printer. We needed to look at your network, make sure it's working in perfect condition, because you need to troubleshoot your network first before blaming your printer. Because we'll be looking at your printer connected by USB, by network either RJ45 like I just showed you, or USB to your router, and by wireless. And what I mean by wireless is I mean wireless. And folks, for those that are interested on following our show, I'll be posting in the show notes and on the website and in the YouTube channel. We do have a web app that will work on the iPhone, on the Symbian Nokia, on the Android app market, and on the BlackBerry. It is at mob.conduit.com/ZEDAXISPRO like pro. Punch that into your mobile browser and add it to the desktop. It is now a web app. You can follow our YouTube channel, our Twitter channel, you can follow news on our website, and if I remember before, watch this, I've got it working on this thing. Done. There. Whoops. I think it's too bright. Yeah. There. Ta-da! Yeah, the other thing is Facebook. That's what I forgot. Too much light in my office. Anyway, you can see it for yourself. It's got all our YouTube shows, our Facebook channel, the Twitter feed, and the latest news on our website. It does work both ways, and it is free. Remember, the address is mob.conduit.com/GEDAXISPRO. So until next week, have a good day, and this has been your Technology Questions Answered.